Hey, Off-White Coat listeners, it is my privilege to get to tell you about this sweet deal from our friends over at Picmonic. If you haven't heard about Picmonic, it is a fantastic picture-based mnemonic platform that can certainly help out any student. Most of the videos are around 2 minutes long and provide a quick and effective way to memorize material for any upcoming medical exam. It is extremely efficient. They have this search bar function where you can search playlists on general topics like renal to step 1 to step 2, or even first aid and other books. If you want to review the Picmonic for later, you can even make a playlist of your own. Picmonic even has this repetition algorithm that is spaced out according to your learning needs. This helps with increasing long-term retention and allows you to review the right information at the right time. One of my favorite functions is the quizzes that are associated with each Picmonic. I'll take the quiz first and then learn about the associated pictures and what facts I need to sharpen up on. Honestly, Picmonic is a fantastic tool, and if you use our code OFFWHITECOAT, you'll get 20% off. That's Off-White Coat with no spaces. So what are you waiting for? Make studying the easiest part of your day. Sign up with Picmonic and use Off-White Coat to save yourself some money. Hello everyone and welcome to the Off-White Coat podcast. I'm going to be your host Jordan Abney, and today we're going to do a little rotation and review. Today we're going to be talking about my family medicine rotation. Today I'm lucky enough to be joined by Hadley Modeen. She was also in the family medicine rotation with me down here in Miami. So
I'm back.
She's back, everybody. Yep. It all started, we didn't even know that we were going to be in the rotation together.
No,
until
we showed
orientation.
up orientation day and I hadn't seen you since the island.
Yeah, it had been a hot minute.
And I was like, what? So that was the start of the Miami journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the beginning. So we did our rotation at a hospital called Carrollty. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a smaller hospital, but I had kind of heard that it was going to be moderately chill. So if you're an SGU student, I definitely recommend that hospital.
And there's a specific rotation of family medicine that they do. Like, there's 3 different locations. We chose the one that was notoriously the chillest of all of them, I guess you can say. The one that we knew we would go in, we would, pop out a couple hours a day, and then we get to go and actually still enjoy the sun. Mm-hmm. So we cheated the system a little bit, but I feel like we did it well. Because it was my match month. I had to.
Yeah, you were matching, and I had to take step in the next week. So we started there, and all we would do is we had like an outreach clinic that we were responsible for. So it was essentially a homeless shelter that they would do all the medical checkups, blood pressure checks, TB tests, give them vaccinations, things like that. And we would do all the checkups required for any of the people. But it was really nice. We had like a whole working group of students.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was a sizable group. So we had like at least 4 to 5 people in there every single day. When you have 4 students working on like one patient, we got into the groove of it because at first it was a cluster.
Oh, okay? It was wild. Yeah.
I was just about to curse, but it was a cluster. Meaning like it was just 3 people trying to interview at the same time, interjecting. It was a lot. So we finally were like, okay, there's roles. Just like how in any sort of healthcare system you kind of have a role to play, we kind of assigned roles every single time that there was a new patient. 1 person interview, 1 person do vitals, 1 person to write the note as they're interviewing, and then the other person to take blood, do vaccinations, all that stuff.
You can't have too many medical students chiming in at once. Everybody wants a question answered. It gets ridiculous.
Yeah, it was kind of like, what's the saying? Like, how many med students does it take to interview a patient instead of like screwing a light bulb? It was way too many, and it got really bad.
And people were chasing zebras left and right. So it was honestly a good experience. They pretty much would bring in a patient and we would do everything that was required of that, whether it be the full initial checkup, the whole physical exam. If you weren't skilled with the manual blood pressure checking, you got plenty of experience doing that there, giving TB. I can't think of anything else.
I managed to do the entire rotation of family medicine and always not have to do the manual blood pressure. Because let me preface this by saying I can do manual, but I really don't like doing it. I'd rather do everything else. So I got away with the entire rotation with not doing a manual
She was just passing it up.
I was.
We did get our liver function checked prior to that was one of the things. We got our own blood work checked.
Yeah, for free, which is awesome. Props of healthcare. But we figured it would be kind of fun to check our LFTs starting in Miami, and then we would do one at the end to finish and see like how much they elevated. We don't condone this activity.
Yes.
But, you know,
but she said we could do
funny.
it for free, so we were like, why not? Get a little practice.
We got the beginnings, but I never got we never got a final.
Yeah, we never got the final, so I don't know how much liver damage I sustained while I was good until Miami.
The liver damage is still ongoing. I should get my LFTs checked at the end of this.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I might have hepatitis C or something. I'm not sure, but it might be. It might be bad. But at least prior to Miami, we at least know the source. Of where I got it.
There we go.
But yeah, so we did that. I know when I was taking Hadley's LFT, one of her veins blew. She has got tiny veins.
She didn't let me. A very hard stick.
She did not let me live it down. Even in other rotations we've been in, she's
I've
throwing me under the bus.
I've been chirping him because it was not just one arm; it was both arms, which is like funnier. But like it didn't bother me. I was like, "Look, just go ahead and take it." And he got the blood. It's just that I also bruise easily, so the bruises were there, and I would just like make him look at it every single day. I mean, like, you did this. And
then she would tell random people that I beat her, and then I would have to explain to myself that
the reverse.
that it is the reverse. That she just beats me with like the soap and the sock, so I don't bruise as much.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean that was a couple of good experiences. We got to do some minor procedure things. They gave you a lot of
autonomy in this one, which was like awesome for especially like family medicine is something that usually takes a third year. But I'm a fourth year taking family medicine, and I chose to do it as like my last, I guess, required one before graduation. Mm-hmm. Because I heard that like, if you find like a very chill family medicine, it's really nice to kind of just like hone your skills in, but also like not have to worry about it too much when you're trying to like have fun during fourth year, because we've suffered enough, like, first through third year. And this was a great opportunity to do that. So highly recommend taking it. Yeah, I mean, I took my family medicine shelf after taking STEP, but it's all still there. I actually recommend taking your family medicine shelf maybe like 3 months, like maybe 2-3 months after your STEP, because the knowledge is still there. And I really only studied for 3 days.
This girl did not study at all. I don't know if she did.
Really only studied for. I'm not even gonna lie. I probably pulled like 14 hours of studying total for this shelf.
Well, that was the thing, is you were matching, and then I was studying for STEP. So you were like, you would see me study and be like, "What? I can't even deal with this."
I know. I was just like, I hate this. I was looking at you suffering, and I was just like, you're doing questions on your phone, like in between patients. And it made me want to puke.
Yeah. And then I see videos of you on your phone and you're like dancing at the bars.
Yeah. Yeah. Really kind of living it up in Miami.
I think one of the things I liked is that you got a really good relationship with some of the people that lived in that clinic that, that you were helping. Mm-hmm. A lot of them would come in on a daily basis and we would help them with pretty much any of their needs, but you got one-on-one basis with them. We would also do these education scenarios with them.
They were like seminars.
Seminars, that's the word I was looking for, the S. But yeah, we would do those seminars and we would talk about like high blood pressure or diabetes or how smoking is killing, And
it's interesting because it's definitely a family medicine thing to sit there and kind of describe something that you learned in like your first 2 years of medical school, right? Mm-hmm. But like to describe it to someone who is like a patient, that's not something that I normally had to do during like surgery, IM or something like that. It was just... It kind of jarred me a little bit into remembering everything that I could kind of put in like layman's terms for people that I learned in the first 2 years. Mm-hmm.
That's the issue, is putting it all, like in layman's, like you have a bunch of knowledge, but it's about describing it where other people can understand.
Exactly.
I think the best way, and one of the people at the rotation taught it like this, but to draw it out.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're drawing it out for a patient, I always have my little notebook and I can just like do a little sketch.
Exactly. A lot of people are visual learners. You can't just like throw words at them and expect them to kind of understand what you're talking about. But even for the diabetes one, like I remember, like, not everyone knew that this is like a systemic disease that doesn't just affect like one thing. Like they didn't realize that, the reason why you see like, the diabetic foot ulcers, people get like amputations, is all because of not controlling your blood glucose levels and how your body reacts to that. So it was interesting.
It certainly was. I
learned a lot and they learned a lot.
Yeah, I learned a lot. And there was so many like funny stories that I heard in that clinic and
stuff. We had a couple of characters and I loved them.
Characters, I love them. Yeah, Hadley had an admirer at one point. He would come by every day and
him.
just, say hey to Hadley.
Adorable.
Be like, where'd y'all get these cute nurses?
Yeah, I was like, that's always really funny to kind of like sit there and like, someone thinks that you're like a nurse or like a different title, and then you just like don't really correct them because it's like, are they not going to remember it? And also, who cares? It's like a pride thing at that point, and I don't have any of it. So I just sit there and I'm just like, always here for you.
I'm not trying to impress anybody There was this one time this guy comes in and we have, it's like medical student galore. We got everybody there and we're weighing him. We're giving him TV while asking him questions and doing all these things. He's like, man, y'all are going to make some great nurses one day.
Yep.
And I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Greatest compliment ever. Because I feel like half the time they run stuff like better, know how to do day-to-day stuff just 10 times more efficiently than my like dumb medical school ass is. So biggest compliment ever.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was just funny because he was actually impressed. He just didn't know what to call us. And then
because it's not like we introduce ourselves like, hi, like we're all like,
we're all
soon to be doctors. You just say medical student and that like can pertain to anything. It could be like, a nursing student, a PA student, medical student. It just all kind of sounds the same.
I mean, I guess normally you would say, nursing student as opposed to.
Yeah, but they just hear student.
They just hear
like
student.
If you're a patient,
they just hear that you're about to
know that you're about to
know.
take their blood as a student, and you might F up.
That's the only word they hear. Estudiante, and they're like, wait, he has a needle.
Medicina.
Yeah, he has a needle.
True.
He should not have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that one. What was another? Oh, there was the guy. So there was a guy that he had come in, and he was honestly such a great, like, genuine-hearted person, but he had been into the naughty. He had been doing some drugs, and he said that these people started chasing him. He had done some Molly or something, and these people had started. Remember this guy?
Now I remember the story. I'm like, where are you going with this?
He said, this is one of my all-time favorite quotes, he says these people start chasing him, he starts running, and then he climbed a tree. And he said,
looking for him.
They started looking for him, they're looking all around, and the attending that we were with, she goes, now, what did that teach you? And he just looks at her, confused, and he goes, when people are looking for you, they don't usually look up.
That was honestly the best response ever. Like, we're all just, Jordan and I are sitting there, like, thank God we had masks on.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're sitting there smiling so hard, but I feel like you can still tell with someone's, like, facial structure. It was hysterical. And I have no idea what her response was, but one of the best conversations.
Oh, yeah. I remember that she gave him, like, a mean, like, frown. Like, she was just like, come on. And then he goes, oh, wait. Drugs are bad. Drugs are bad. Yeah, he was just like, drug. And I'm just, at that point, ear to ear grin. I'm like, he could not have said a better line.
I know.
And she was not laughing.
She was not
just like,
having
good
it.
Lord.
But, like, at that point, like, you develop a repertoire with, like, a certain, like, patient, you know, right? Like, it's just like, and I feel like Family Med is a lot of honing in that repertoire, and you can kind of see, like, how you interact with certain people, and it kind of develops your personality as an attending or, like, as a physician. Mm-hmm. And you're able to kind of, speed things up, slow things down, like, pause and think about something that they said and really kind of dive deep into it. But it also, we had a lot of empathetic moments during this.
A lot. I mean, because that's the one issue, right? Is the drugs or just the bad circumstance that has led somebody to be in this situation. Or it really flexes your empathetic muscles. You feel so bad. You want to help as much as you can. Yeah,
and you really are like part-time therapists, and it's a hard job. I would never call it a burden because that's like what we signed up for. That's exactly what we knew going into this. Like, I don't care what kind of physician you are. If you don't sit there and like listen to your patients, I don't really know what you're doing, but it's just, you're not going to connect the same way.
Yeah. It was a good rotation though. I definitely, I recommend the Hollywood Outlet Clinic.
Great
outreach clinic.
Great experience. And for the shelf, I really only, like I said, I'm probably not the best person to ask about, like, what did you study? I really only did like a little bit of like the UWorld questions, because if you update your UWorld, it like has a Family Med thing now, which I had to learn how that was a little different. It's just my step 2 CK, but they had a family med like sub thing when you updated it.
Yeah.
So just did that, and that was all I did, and just looked over like my old notes for my step 2 study guide. And
yeah, I mean, I know I did a lot of UWorld up to that point just because I was also doing IM and family med, and honestly, a lot of the family med shelf was IM related or peds related in some way.
It was a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it was
which
a
is
little bit.
why family med last is actually super clutch.
Yeah, it was actually very...
If you can control it, that'd be great. If you can't control it, it's no worries. It's just a combo of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I really didn't think it was that difficult at all.
No, it wasn't difficult in the sense of how complex the questions were. The questions weren't very complex. It was just from a wide array of subjects. I do remember there was like a lot of like pediatric rashes that I wasn't expecting and things like that. That I was like, oh man, I got to think back real hard on that because my pediatrics was my first rotation. I think I did a lot of UWorld. And then I also, if I could recommend anything for the family med shelf, it would be Amboss was great. They had like a whole family med section. Then they also had like a clerkship section where you could just click only family med. And while you would still need to do some internal med or some other kind of review, you wouldn't want to just do family med. I think that Amboss at least had a ton of questions. I didn't even get through all the questions, like because I was studying for STEP and family med at the same time, and I knew I would be decent. I didn't think it was.
Yeah, there's enough crossover for you.
Yeah. But Amboss was very beneficial. Also, I mean, honestly, if you go to YouTube, Emma Holiday Internal Medicine or Divine Intervention,
there's like
all of them.
I think Emma doesn't have a family medicine one. Dr.
No, they don't
Dr.
either.
High Yield is this guy that I just like. Besides,
he does though.
The questions. That was the only person I listened to, and I listened to it like maybe like 2 days before my exam. And I think they're an hour each. I think there's a part 1 and a part 2. Mm-hmm. All I listened to, all I really needed.
He was absolutely fantastic for that. He has a family med one, and then if you want to catch up on the internal, the Divine and Emma, they have those. And then there's also, I can't even remember it now, but there's some other person besides those 3 main. Oh, what am I looking at? 3 heads of the snake or whatever. Yeah.
The Father,
the Father, the Son.
Yeah.
Emma
Sorry,
the Father, the Son.
Sacrilege, but that's the holy trinity of like learning medicine.
The Father, the Son, and Emma Holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there was one other person that's putting out content on YouTube, and it was actually, it was pretty decent. But definitely recommend Dr. High Yield, and just focus really on internal medicine. If you haven't had that shelf, if you have, you'll be fine. And pediatrics, there wasn't intense things. It was literally just like the rashes that sneak up every now and then.
I really feel like Forrest Gump right now because I'm just like, and that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. But for real, use YouTube, use UWorld. I didn't actually buy any of the MBMEs, but I'll tell you
I did.
that you did.
I did. I bought 2. I think there was only 3 available instead of 4. Normally they're 4. Okay. I bought 2. I only did 1. So if someone wants to buy one from me, I know, but like I only did 1 because I was like, I got like a good enough score to have like that confidence high in myself that I was like, oh, I got this. And
you bought 2 at once?
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Oh my
goodness!
I know. I was trigger happy, and I was just like, oh, like let me just get.
You're just firing from the hip.
Yeah, but I didn't want to ruin the confidence if I like took the second one and like didn't get as good of a score as I like was projected to, And so I felt like that was gonna kind of hit my confidence, and I was like, you know what, this, screw it,
just go with it. She just used the force and made it happen. But yeah, so the MBMEs though, those are usually lifesavers when it comes to at least a couple questions on the test every time, and they make you feel a little bit more comfortable with the material that they're asking. So honestly, every other one of my shelves I bought one for, but this one, I had been doing so many questions in between, I didn't think there was any necessary.
You didn't even need that.
But yeah, as far as that, I mean, I don't have much more to say. This rotation was kind of short. It was definitely enjoyable for me, but
I had a blast.
We got to get out at like 2 or 3 every day. Hadley got to spend some time on the beach.
Sometime, yeah. I actually didn't burn at all during my family medicine rotation. It was actually here.
That's a win.
That was like all... EM, I burned.
EM,
I healed. Yeah.
We'll be doing that rotation review shortly, so keep your eyes open for that one. From now on, we're going to be doing a couple of rotations in review where I'll just be reviewing the whole rotation tips, things like that, testing strategies, anything that was helpful in my rotation, and really just trying to give you some advice and tell you some funny stories and hoping you enjoy it. But this one is the end of the Family Med one. So Hadley, thank you for joining us. Do you have anything else to say?
Stay golden.
There you go.
Not really. Yeah.
And if you have any other questions to ask Hadley, or if you want to buy her NBME,
yeah, please someone buy my NBME.
You can message us at offwhitecoatpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just hit us up on our Instagram. And we'll be doing it.
Expires in 10 days, guys.
Well, her NBME expires. So get on that quickly, guys. If you want it, just message us. You know where to find us. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.
Deuces.
Hey, everyone. I want to take this time to tell you about our friends over at TrueLearn. They have this top-of-the-line test bank that is perfect for any upcoming board exams that you may have. They have test banks for all types of exams. So whether you're studying for medical school, nursing school, OT, pharmacy, and others like speech pathology, TrueLearn is the way to go. If you're like me and going through medical school, they have question banks for all the big exams, like Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3, with quality assessments for each exam. Look, I know we didn't go into healthcare because we love taking tests. This is the hard part of the job. Make it easy on yourself with TrueLearn. Sign up now with the code OFFWHITECOAT to get $25 off your purchase. That's OFF WHITECOAT, no spaces, to get $25 off your purchase. This is a test bank that you do not want to pass up on. Make this easy on yourself. Take the deal, pass your boards, and get back to enjoying the reason you went into healthcare. And make sure to use Off White Coat when you pick it up.